darkest night will end and the sun will rise. So said a card that I got this morning. Dark night, well, I'm not really sure, but today I'm one year older. It's my birthday. No, you don't need to sort of start singing at this point. It's changed days. I'm sitting here in a conservatory. I came from the village of Kilbarkin, and as a baby and as a schoolboy, I lived in a room and kitchen. So my goodness, I've arrived with a conservatory. My birthday. I don't want to talk about that, because you get to a certain age, you don't talk about your birthdays, but I want to talk about another birthday, and it's the birthday of the Christian Church, and it's the day of Pentecost, and in fact, that is tomorrow. On the day of Pentecost, a wind blew. It was perhaps the most significant wind that's ever blown in history, for it blew the church into being. It was a day of excitement and passion. Indeed, the disciples seemed to be in such a high that the passerbys accused them of being drunk. Now, I don't know if you've been in church recently, but I don't think you've ever thought the congregation, or indeed the minister, was drunk. But in that day, those friends of Jesus were so full of it that that's what they thought. I just love people with enthusiasm. I want to finish with a wee story. Back in the 1950s, it's a favourite of mine. Fred was a travelling salesman hawking washing machines. His job was commission only, but there was a valuable perk. He was given a works van, and with that works van, he took the machines so he could demonstrate them wherever he went. Now, at the beginning of the week, Fred set off in his van with 5 washing machines, and as long as all 5 were sold, he could keep the van. And he succeeded in doing this week after week. It was a matter of honour. He would say, if one machine was taken from the van, then it would be sold. It was never a put back. Eventually a week came when Fred's magic seemed to leave him. And to his horror, he found that Thursday night he had 3 machines left in his van. Now, he felt the Midlands area where he had normally worked was played out, and so, although he had only 24 hours until the van turned into a pumpkin, he set off for new pastures. He became convinced that the naval bases on the south coast of England would be his best bet. And despite the bad weather, he turned the van south and drove through the night. It would be there first thing in the morning. Disaster struck, however, when the van hit a patch of ice, spun out of control, went through a fence and hit a tree. Fred was flung through the windscreen. It was the days before seatbelts, and severed an artery. He says he remembered watching his blood fountaining into the cold air and thinking that his end had come. Fortunately for him, 2 farmers' wives heard him. They heard the crash, they ran across the field, and they called an ambulance and stemmed the flow of blood. The ambulance arrived, Fred was loaded in and taken to hospital. But here's the bit. In the meantime, each of the farmers' wives had signed up to become a proud owner of a shiny new washing machine. You see, I did it, he said. And when I came out of the hospital, there was a new van waiting for me. Now, doubtless you're saying, because you're very sharp, hey, wait a minute, Ian, what about the third machine? Fred's answer was, oh, that's still going strong. It belongs to an ambulance driver in Southampton. I think he's retired now. I just love a person who's enthusiastic about his work, his family, or indeed his life. Well, these people were excited about their faith on the day of Pentecost and about their lives. They were on fire with something positive and earth-shaking. What a contrast to many of our lives today. It was also a day of change, new starts. Maybe it's time in this country for a new start. Time for a change. After this pandemic is over, may we be more caring. A country where there's equity, where there is fairness, where there's compassion. We can't change the world. Maybe we can't even change the country. But I think what we can do is change our lives. May the wind of God blow into your life and mine tomorrow on the day of Pentecost. Thanks for listening.